This. My name's Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company with service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, and Papillion. 866. No, let's do the regular old numbers today. 402-558-1110, 800-543-1110. We are still working on getting a dedicated toll-free number for the program, but that allows you to get a call in here and get everything going. We have a toll-free number for the program. It's supposed to auto-switch because here's the thing. So the numbers I'm dropping right now are for the KFAB studio in Omaha. That's 402-558-1110, 800-543-1110. This show airs at different times depending on where you're listening to it, whether you're in Lincoln or Des Moines. So if you call those numbers when you hear the show, you're just going to get like the KFAB studio line, and they'll be like, oh, KFAB, how can I help you? And you're like, I want to ask Thor a question. Who? He's not here. So wouldn't it be great if we had a toll-free number that would switch and send the calls to the service center when you call in when we're not on the air? That way, if you have a question, we can answer your question, right? I mean, we can at least help you. So that's the goal there. So we're working on getting that taken care of. We had it with our old phone provider. Apparently, new phone providers are unable to do this kind of thing. So, yeah, it's one of those challenges where I guess that's old tech, and we don't do that anymore. So, yeah, so we're still working on getting that all taken care of. So in the meantime, 402-558-1110, 800-543-1110. Those are the numbers to join us today on the program. Hi, Mary, top fan status there. I have a funny thing for you, Mary. Mary's watching on Facebook where we're live right now at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. My wife, the lovely Kimberly, she comments on everything. She likes everything. She shares everything. She is doing every single thing that she can do to become a top fan on our Facebook page for the company that we own together. And they will not give her top fan status. And I was like, I don't have top fan status either. And I'm the one posting everything. She goes, maybe that's it. Maybe they think I'm you. Like, lovely Kimberly, nobody has ever looked at you and said, hey, Thor. No. That doesn't happen. But so anyway, so appreciate all the top fans there. How can you become a top fan on our Facebook page? Well, you do everything that the lovely Kimberly is doing, and then you get lucky. So as long as you don't look anything like me and you like things, comment on things, repost things, and especially share things. That's one of the biggest things. If you share one of our posts on your Facebook page, but you also write a comment. So that's the thing that we're starting to learn what goes into a top fan status. Just sharing it, that's great. You get a couple points for that. But if you share it and then write a comment, like for example, we have a post up right now on our Facebook page that says, hey, we're looking for 3 testers for the holiday special laptop. We want to have 3 early adopters, take a look at this laptop. I've been playing with the prototype model at home. We're going to talk a little bit about that on the program today. It's really neat because Dell really, really, really wanted to keep our business, like big time, for the holiday special, that is, because we were looking at that Asus model that had talked about that had the cool phone, touchpad thing, because honestly, Dell's prices were just too high. They've raised all their prices, which is really weird. We're seeing this in laptops right now. The prices are actually going up, which usually does not happen in technology. Usually you get more tech at a lower price. So there's a lot of geopolitical reasons that could be happening right now, but the prices were going up. No tariffs are currently impacting laptops. So wholly built laptops like Dell, Apple, when you buy the laptop, if it's assembled in China, they're exempt from tariffs right now. It's all the computer parts that are not exempt. So when we build a computer in our shop, we get hit with all the tariffs, but Dell doesn't. So yay. So anyway, the long and the short of it is the prices are going up for some reason, and it's getting harder to find that great big awesome, amazing laptop for $14.99. That's what we charge for the holiday special every year, $14.99. And so I don't want to raise the price of the holiday special because, $14.99 is a pretty good chunk of change for a computer. I mean, for a nice computer, it's very reasonable, but, it's a pretty good amount of money. So this year, we went to Dell basically and said, okay, here's the deal. They offered us the same computer that we had last year, literally the same exact computer last year for $50 more than it cost last year. And we sell them at cost. So I'm like, I can't sell the same computer, the literally exact same computer that I sold last year. So it's 1-year-old tech And instead of $14.99 this year, it's a bargain value at $15.49. That makes no sense. Why would anybody buy that? That's just dumb. I wouldn't buy that. I wouldn't feel good buying that. Let's put it that way. So we basically we threatened to walk, the whole bit, and we ended up getting a laptop that is built just for us. You cannot buy, if you go to the Dell website, you cannot buy this laptop. This laptop does not exist anywhere else but at Schrock Innovations. So that's a first this year. So that's kind of cool for the 20th anniversary holiday special. But the holiday special laptop this year is the i7 processor, just like last year. It is the 2-in-1. It's not the same one. It's a newer chip than last year, but it's the same. Last year we had an i7. This year we have an i7. It's the 2-in-1 design, so it tents. So basically you can use it like a laptop, or you can fold the screen all the way over onto itself and hold it like a clipboard and use the touch screen. That's kind of cool. It comes with 16 gigs of RAM, which was about how much memory last year's unit came with. Of course, this year's computer has faster memory. But the neat thing about it is it can be upgraded. Last year's computer was maxed out at 16 gigs of RAM. This year's computer can actually go up to 32 if we want to. So it gives us a little bit of room for people who really want that extra performance boost. Oh my gosh, some of the other stuff with it. It has... Last year, we had a 15.6-inch screen. It has a 15.6-inch screen this year. Last year, it was a touch screen. This year, it's a touch screen. Last year, it was a full HD screen. This year, it's a 4K screen in a laptop. 4K in a laptop. Some of you don't even have 4K televisions yet. So this is, I mean, wow. Like, I took a picture of I put a Starscape, desktop wallpaper on it that was 4K, and it was like looking at the actual stars. It was amazing. And I took a picture of it to put it up on Facebook to say, hey, we're looking for some testers. And the picture doesn't do it justice, but you can see those. If you scroll down a little bit on our Facebook page, you'll see all the pictures, and I'll try to post them during a commercial break here in the show feed as well. But the holiday special, it doesn't stop there. The holiday special laptop also this year comes with a new little toy. It's an active stylus. So the active stylus, what it allows you to do is it comes with a battery. You put the battery in it, you screw it down, whatever, and it's got a forward and a back button like a mouse. You can go forward, you can go back, you can select. You can also use it to draw on the screen. So if you are an artistic individual or you use Photoshop or anything like that, you can literally change brush types. You can draw, you can create art on the screen. You can modify things on the screen. If you're retouching photos with Photoshop, you can use the stylus to take out red eye instead of using a mouse. So it is a truly awesome piece of tech that is included in the price this year. It was a little bit of an extra thing. So if you want to count the improvements over last year, memory upgradability, active stylus, and probably the biggest one, honestly, is the 4K screen. If you have never seen a 4K screen before, it is stunning. Now, you can't look at this unit right now. We have one prototype that Dell has sent us that we are evaluating. We have agreed that this is going to be the holiday special laptop. We are going to take it, and therefore we are working on basically it needs to get its picture taken. We need to get the catalog spinning up. Everything's got to happen pretty quick here. So there's a big photo shoot this weekend for the holiday special laptop and desktop. So if you're looking for a new laptop, if you have been waiting for the holiday special laptop, you can order yours. You can we call it a tester, but you're not really testing it. I tested it, but you're an early adopter. And the reason we do this is when I get on the radio and I tell you how cool it is to have a 4K screen, that's great. When we get on the radio and we have somebody who's actually a customer, like a real person who has used this thing, who is used to using what is a full HD screen, and now they have a 4K screen instead, it's hard to express the difference in the clarity. And not just for gaming, because this thing has a dedicated graphics card to push the 4K. So, most of you don't game, but just when you're looking at photos of family and friends and things, whatever camera they took it with, your screen has a higher resolution. Let's put it that way. So you're always going to see it better and more clearly with more detail than anyone else. My wife and I, Friday, we were a little, every Friday I'm off. Like that's like a block day. I don't work Friday because otherwise I would just work all the time. And my wife wants to see my face. So the lovely Kimberly and I, we go out on date day on Friday. This week, there were no new movies out. We haven't seen Joker, but I don't know. It's one of those things like, I don't know if I want to watch somebody go mad. But I keep asking her, hey, do you want to see Joker yet? And she's like, I don't want to see that. Quit asking me that. And I don't want to see it either, but it's just fun to ask and give you a hard time. There just wasn't anything new out that was even worth, kind of we'll see. There was no movies out. My wife was a little bit under the weather, she had a cold ear infection thing going on. So, didn't want to go do anything physical, like go out and walk anywhere or, do anything that would be exerting. So, you know what? On a bored afternoon, they said, we've been looking for a new dining room table. We're kind of in the hunt for one. So we said, let's go over to Nebraska Furniture Mart. Now, if you're in Nebraska, you know what Nebraska Furniture Mart is. If you're in Iowa, you may not know. It's kind of a big deal. They sell more computers at Nebraska Furniture Mart than pretty much every computer sales store from Nebraska to the West Coast combined. They sell a lot. They're huge. They are absolutely massive. Great origin story. A Russian immigrant lady comes in here with, two nickels to rub together, and she builds a giant company that eventually is bought by Warren Buffett, who owns Nebraska Furniture Mart. So it's a great story. It's a good company, the whole bit. So we go in there, we look at the dining room tables. Literally, I don't know when who decided that it would be a good idea to put plastic on the surface of dining room tables. There's no real wood tables anymore. They're either a veneer that looks and feels like wood, but isn't wood. So it'll last a few years and then you're going to have to replace it. You can't sand it and refinish it or do anything to it. Or it's literally like, those outdoor tables that you can get that look like wood, but when you touch them, they're plastic. It's like that. Who decided that was a good idea? So yeah, we're looking at these tables and we're like, they're cheap. It's like when's the last time you could buy a $600 dining room table that seats 6 that comes with the chairs? That's pretty cheap, right? But it's plastic. It's not even real. Underneath, it's probably like 2x4s or something, and it's covered in this plastic veneer. So we were like, oh, whatever. And I'm like, you know what? We're here. We don't have anything else going on. Let's go walk through the electronics section and look at the computers. Once in a while, it's a good idea to get out of your bubble and go look and see what other people are doing. So, we go and look, and my wife sees the gaming computers. And they have the beautiful cases and the LED lights. And she's like, these computers are stunning. And she goes, why don't we build computers that look like this? I'm like, well, we can. We do for some people. But here's the thing. Look at the front of this. Is a gaming computer. Look at the front of it. There's no bays. You can't put a DVD drive in it if you wanted to. You can't mount an extra hard drive inside here anywhere if you wanted to. You can't put a card reader in it. Oh, and she's starting to catch on, because there was a guy who came into our Papillion Service Center 2 days ago, and he looked at the Intrepid laptop that does not come with a DVD drive. And he was like, I want a DVD drive. And we're like, you can't have an internal DVD drive. They don't make them anymore for most laptop brands. The holiday special does not have a DVD drive, for example. We have externals that we can sell you, that we can add on if you need a DVD drive. But most people, unless you're loading really, really old software, and if you need to load that software, we'll actually loan you a DVD drive to do it. Like you can check it out like the library and then bring it back. So it's like, we'll help you out, but the computers just don't come with them anymore because nobody sells software on DVD anymore. So basically, the long and the short of it here is we went and looked at the computers. The cases are beautiful, but they don't allow you any functionality or any expansion. They are truly not modular in the sense of the word. And one of the things that my staff, we have some new staff members, and they're, one of them asked me the other day, "What's this modular thing?" And this is his second day. And I'm like, you know what? If you've been here 2 days and you don't know what modular means yet, I don't talk about it enough. In my head, I feel like I talk about it all the time, but maybe I don't. But the whole concept of a modular computer, whether it's a holiday special or whether it's a $600 computer you're buying, just to open email and check on things, the whole concept behind that is that any one of our computers can become any other one of our computers by changing out easy modules. Upgrading is cheaper than buying a new computer, a lot cheaper. Our computers, because they can be repaired or upgraded so easily, they last 4 to 6 years. The holiday special lasts up to 10 years, documented. We have callers who will call in and say they're still using their holiday special from 2000 whatever. So basically, they last a long time. They do good work for you. So it's one of those things where we should probably do a whole show on modular. We could do an entire show on all the decisions that go into which brand of motherboard are we going to buy, based on how many ports it has and how many, the different features of the boards and what kind of capacitors it uses, all the way down to what brand of hard drives are we going to buy. So we're looking at all the computers at the mart. And basically their entry-level laptops start at around $600, just like our. You can get the Acer for $300. We both laughed at it because you could pick it up. It felt like it was going to break in your hand. This is the one you see at Walmart. There's a reason that they put it under plastic at Walmart. It's not because people are going to steal the non-functional display model. It's because if you picked it up and felt it, you would not buy it, because it literally, you pick it up, there's nothing to it. It's like an empty plastic box. There really isn't anything. The battery is the biggest thing inside that box. So you can get that one. You'll use it for a year and you'll throw it away because it's going to break. You're going to bring it into the shop. We're going to say, we can fix it, but it's going to cost you more than buying a new $300 computer. And you're going to get stuck in that cycle where you buy a computer, the computer breaks or something goes wrong with it, so you just go buy another computer. And that's exactly the cycle that the manufacturers want you to be in. I'm not a big fan of like the one trick that the credit card companies don't want you to know. It's not like that. It's not like they're like, Scrooge McDuck over here throwing money in their safe because they're making you buy a new laptop every year. But you have to understand that the companies that make laptops. And every year they have to sell more laptops than they sold the previous year, or their stocks go down, right? Or they have to make more money selling them. They have to make them more cheaply and charge more for them. So as I'm saying, the prices are seeming to go up, because usually you used to be for about $500, you could pick up a decent laptop, one that wasn't a complete piece of garbage like those Acers, not to be confused with Asus, mind you. That's what we buy. But the Acer laptops are generally not recommended. So we're looking through all the laptops and everything. They start at about $500, and I'm shocked. Before you could get to a computer that came with a solid-state hard drive, you had to spend $900. That was the cheapest laptop at the mart that came with a solid-state hard drive. Our entry-level computers we call them solid-state laptops, because every single computer we sell is equipped with a solid-state hard drive. Because, and again, every day we go to work, every day we see all of our computers, and every day we say, wow, this is just normal, right? Everybody's got a solid-state now. No, they really don't. People right now today are going to go out this weekend and buy new computers that don't have solid state hard drives in them. And I just want to knock them in the noggin, because you get a better computer at Schrock for about the same price. We're not even more expensive anymore than the other places. We thought we were more expensive. We never raised our prices. They raised their prices. So now we're about equal, but you get a superior product. So if you're looking for that laptop that you've been holding out for because your older one maybe runs Windows 7 and it's going to be obsolete in January, or maybe it's just time to move on because that hinge that doesn't work quite right isn't there, or maybe you've got a crack in your screen, or the keys, maybe your kids got a hold of the keyboard and popped a couple keys off, and you haven't had to use an asterisk in a while. But when you have to type the password with the asterisk, it's going to be rough. Come on into Schrock. We can get you taken care of. We have pictures on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. The sale hasn't started yet. The reason we do testers is you will get yours early. You'll get them within a week to 14 business days. That way you have them before the sale starts, so that you can call into the radio show and tell us what you think of them on the air, so other customers can hear actual reviews from real people who are really using the computer for real things that real people do, as opposed to like, oh, yes, my name is Danny, and yeah, I love it. It's amazing. No. Let's get some real people on here to call in and tell us what they think. 402-558-1110, 800-543-1110. Got to take our first break on the program, guys. When we come back, Roger, your call is coming up next on Compute This.
Schrock Innovations Data Recovery Lab saves the data the other guys can't. The next time your hard drive, camera card, or flash drive fails, let Schrock get your data back. Every person listening to this broadcast has either experienced data loss or knows someone who has. When you think about it, you have a lot more data stored in many more places than you'd like to admit. Have you downloaded those videos from your phone, backed up the pictures on your iPad, or even tackled that sometimes daunting task of backing up your entire computer's hard drive? Most people just don't back up their stuff, and that's why Schrock Innovations has one of the most advanced data recovery centers in the Midwest. Equipped with the latest DDI data imaging devices, state-of-the-art custom recovery software, and Omaha's best data recovery technicians, Schrock Innovations has a 96.8% success rate when recovering data from damaged hard drives, flash drives, camera cards, and more. We all know we should back up our data, but if you are ever caught in a data loss nightmare, call the experts at Schrock Innovations to get your data back right where it belongs, safe and backed up on a stable hard drive. ComputeThis Pro Tip 843. Of all computer failures, the scariest and most expensive is the hard drive. But there are some steps you can take to save money and save your data before it's too late. Detecting failures early is important, so install a free utility like Drive Advisor from driveadvisor.com to monitor your hard drive's health and receive warnings when there's a problem. But most of all, hard drive failures happen slowly, so early detection is key to reducing the repair bill. Second, if your hard drive makes any unusual noises, immediately turn off your computer and do not turn it on again. These issues are physical problems, and the more you try to use it, the worse the damage becomes. Remember that most computer repair shops do not have the specialized equipment needed to recover data from a failed drive. Never open your drive or allow anyone else to do so. Opened drives always cost more to recover. Schrock does not charge for data recovery evaluations and quotes, so let the local pros look at your drive before you make any recovery decisions. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
All righty, folks, welcome back into Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company with service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, and Papillion. The other day, yesterday, or no, it's Thursday, I I had a customer call me and say they heard the show. They heard me talk about all the web work that we do for clients and how we improve their websites and we bring them more traffic. And we literally have turnaround stories for businesses that we're doing, like Cliff Digital right now in Los Angeles. And we get these calls, and so a woman calls in and she says she owns a pottery store called It's Yours Pottery. Here's your free plug. It'sYoursPottery.com, right? So it's one of those paint your own pottery places, right? And so I for whatever reason, I was doing some work before and I had Lincoln on the brain. And so I'm typing It's Yours Pottery Lincoln. I'm doing all the searches, and like her results are atrocious. Like, just wait. I'm like, oh, we can help her a lot. And then the next day, I realize when I look at the email again, she's actually in Omaha. And I left her a voicemail the day before that said, hey, this is Thor from Schrock. We can do a lot for your business. You know, give me a call back and we can talk about improving rankings a little bit. When I searched for It's Yours Pottery in Omaha, yeah, she ranks #1 for every critical search term you could possibly want to rank for pottery. Pottery classes, paint your own pottery classes, you know, pottery. She was #1 for pottery Omaha. I mean, I'm just about to just do a search for pottery and see if, like, you know, she outranks the Greeks here. She's killing it. And I'm like, wow. So then I felt bad because when I left her a voicemail, she's probably like, that guy, he thinks that we're no good, you know, like, no, I'm sorry. I did. So I sent her an email back like, you know, ha, this is, you know, everything here. And then it bounced back to me as undeliverable. So I was like, oh, shoot. So I got to call you again on Monday. It's Yours Pottery to let you know what's going on with your email. But your emails are bouncing back as undeliverable. And I'm sorry that I left you a voicemail telling you how much we could improve your rankings, because your rankings are awesome. 402-558-1110, 800-543-1110. Roger, welcome to the program. How can I help you today on Compute This?
I have a 2012 holiday special, the desktop.
All righty.
And this morning I'm getting a notification from the Windows. It says you are running out of disk space on data E. And I wanted to know what I should do about all that.
Okay, so your holiday special is equipped with a backup drive, because most of the holiday specials that we've sold over the years have come equipped with the safe and stored backup drive.
Right.
Depending on how your backup is configured, you might be running out of space because you've backed up so many times there's no more room for additional backups. Now, there is a setting in Windows 10 that we can change in your backups that will allow it to clean up the space, to you know, free up that space when needed. So it'll keep backing up until the drive is full, and then it'll delete the oldest backups and replace them with the newest backups.
Okay.
And we're talking about backups that are probably more than a year old. Now, normally, I would step you through, here's how we erase the hard drive, and here's how we go ahead and put everything on there. The thing that I don't want to do that on the radio, because if there's a possibility at some point that you may have saved, like use that drive to save stuff as opposed to back stuff up, and I have you erase the drive, you will lose all of your files.
Okay.
I don't want you to lose all your files, Roger. So are you a subscriber to the Schrock Desk?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Well, one of the things that we can do, you can bring it into us and we can take a look at it. Are you under warranty?
Yes.
Okay. There we
I roll
go.
it over every year, yes.
There's our in, Roger. All right, so you can bring it into the shop or you can give us a call in the service center, and then what we can do is we can take a look at that E-drive for you and see why it's filling up, why it's too full. If it's because you're saving stuff to the E-drive, because the 2012 holiday special, I believe that was the first year it came with a solid state, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're right, yes.
Have we ever replaced that solid state for you?
One time.
Okay, good. Because it's like those early solid states, like, if you still have if you're rocking an original 2012 solid state, it's time to upgrade to the new gen because, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was under warranty, and it was the hard drive was updated fairly soon after we originally got it.
Gotcha. Perfect. Okay. So basically then the thing is we got to figure out why that backup drive is filling up. It's either just got so many backups on it that it's full, or when you're saving stuff, back in 2012, solid states were very, very expensive. So you got a really small solid state for the primary drive, and then your secondary drive was a bigger drive. So I want to make sure that things didn't end up getting saved on the E drive rather than on the C drive. And then so it's doing backups and it's where you're saving stuff. Then you don't actually have a backup at all. But I want to double check that before I just have you just go through and wipe a drive and change some settings, if that makes sense.
So it'd be best to bring it in then and have you guys take a look at it.
Yeah, I would recommend it. When's the last time you had a maintenance checkup done on it as well?
It was May.
In May? So yeah, 5. You're about due.
Right.
Yeah, so if you have a maintenance certificate, you can use that up. Otherwise, pop it on in. Otherwise, you'll be getting that reminder email here soon, like, hey, it's time for a maintenance checkup. Come on in.
Right. Okay. That sounds good.
All right. Thank you for calling, Roger. I appreciate it. All right, 402-558-1110, 800-543-1110. I did try to post these pictures on the Facebook feed, but apparently you can't post pictures during a show feed. So you'll have to scroll down on Facebook if you want to see pictures of that holiday special laptop. When we come back from the break here, stick with us, bottom of the hour. If you have an iPhone, you got some new updates. We're going to tell you about that. Also, remember 3 weeks ago, when the biggest, nastiest ransomware was the Shinobi ransomware? Well, I guess not anymore. Now the biggest ransomware is the Stop ransomware, but one antivirus company is fighting back. So if you were hit with ransomware in the last couple of weeks, you need to hear this next segment. If you have a Samsung S10, you're getting a patch to fix your fingerprint sensor issue. Also, Google is in a little bit of trouble. There are some stories here that are comparing Google to Microsoft of the 90s. So there could be some issues there. Also, there's a big Microsoft patch that's released for your computer. If you're relying on Windows Update to install your patches and you're relying on Windows Defender to keep your computer safe, one of their patches broke Defender. So we're going to tell you about that. And Tesla's got bad memory. What do you do when your computer car has bad memory? Pay a lot of money to fix it, I guess. We're going to tell you what's going on with your Tesla also coming up next on Compute This.
Schrock Innovations repair technicians also make house calls. Make an appointment and let us bring our award-winning computer support right to your home or business.
Welcome to Schrock Innovations. How can I help you today?
I'm having a problem with my computer.
You're at the right place. We fix problems with computers.
That's why I'm here.
What seems to be the problem with your computer?
When I press the power button, it doesn't boot up. How fast can you fix it?
We're the fastest computer fixer in Omaha. We'll fix it fast.
How fast?
Real fast. Do you have it plugged in when you turn it on?
Of course it was plugged in. Do people make that mistake a lot?
You'd be surprised. When you press the power button, what happens?
It roars, then stops and sits.
Ooh, like a lion?
Like a what? Well, I suppose.
Sounds like a bad power supply, sir.
Is that bad?
It's not good, but we can fix it fast.
How fast?
How's that for fast?
Does it work?
Yes, sir. More purring, less roaring now.
Wow, that was fast.
Schrock Innovations is the fastest computer repair in Omaha, sir.
That's great, but all this talking is making me hungry. You guys sell sandwiches?
We do fast computer repair. If you want a fast sandwich, you have to go someplace else. Why would we sell sandwiches?
I don't know. All this fast talking is strangely familiar.
Schrock Innovations. If you want a fast sandwich, don't go there. But if you want your computer fixed and back on your desk fast, give them a call or visit their website at SchrockInnovations.com. Compute This Pro Tip 578. Technology is constantly changing, so how can you tell when the time has come to recycle your old outdated computer and invest in a new one? Experts have rules of thumb and formulas, but Schrock believes the answer is simple. You should replace your old computer when it can no longer do the things you need in a secure way. For example, you should not be using operating systems like Windows XP or Vista because they're no longer maintained by Microsoft and they're not secure. And if your computer cannot run Windows 10, it's probably time to begin saving for a replacement. If your existing computer requires a repair and that cost is 50% or more of the cost of a new computer, it might be time to consider a replacement. But keep in mind, additional costs like data transfers and important software you have to upgrade, like genealogy software or Quicken. And also keep in mind that modern computers are engineered to last 18 months for a normal user. And don't worry, you are considered a normal user. Schrock modular PCs and solid-state laptops are specifically designed to last 4 to 6 years for that same normal user, saving your family money and time. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Fox News, I'm Kathleen Maloney. A change in venue for next year's G7 summit after a storm of controversy over President Trump's site choice in Florida.
The president tweeting, quote, based on both media and Democrat crazed and irrational hostility, we will no longer consider Trump National Doral, Miami as the host site for the G7.
Fox's Aisha Hasni, Camp David is now under consideration as a site for the 2020 G7. With a swing of the bat in the bottom of the ninth, Jose Altuve gives the Houston Astros a win over the New York Yankees in Game 6 of the American League Championship Series.
Altuve has just sent the Astros to the World Series!
Joe Buck on Fox Sports 1. The Astros will play the Washington Nationals in the World Series. Game 1 Tuesday in Houston. America is listening to Fox News.
Now, the News Radio 1110 KFAB Weather Watch.
Clouds will be increasing throughout the day, along with gusty southeast winds up to 35 miles per hour. High temperatures around 65 degrees. A few scattered showers or thunderstorms late in the afternoon into the early evening. Drying out overnight, but staying windy into Monday with highs around 56. With Omaha's most accurate forecast, I'm 6 News First Alert meteorologist David Keller on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
All righty, guys. Welcome back into Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. We have 3 locations in Nebraska to help you out when your computer is giving you a hard time or maybe when your hard drive fails. We just made a huge – we'll put pictures up about this coming up here in the next few days, but we just bought – like $63,000 of new tools for the data recovery lab so that we can do even more recoveries in shop. Because, you know, we're doing them at like half or a quarter the price of the national companies are. So it's kind of neat. We're hoping that we can increase the number that we actually are doing in-house, which is what we need these tools for. So it's going to be pretty neat that we have these capabilities now locally right here in Omaha. We're the only place in town or in the region actually that has a fully equipped data recovery lab. We also do web design, we do software design, AI work, you name it, we can do it. If it touches a computer at Schrock Innovations, we are on it. Speaking of if you're on it, so you've got different types of memory. Everybody asks me, you know, what should I use to back up, right? And some people like to back up to flash drives, but worse yet, some people like to just save their stuff to flash drives. They don't use them for backups. They just save it. So you get a flash drive at like a job fair, you know, and it's got some company's name on it. It's the cheapest piece of junk China flash drive you've ever had in your life, but it looks cool, so you think it's neat. So you use it and you put everything on it. And then one day it stops working. Why did it stop working? Well, you see, with flash memory, it only has each cell that you write in can only be written in so many times before it fails. And so what the chips will do is it has something called wear leveling, where it basically spreads out the use over the chip. So the cells all get used kind of round robin style, so that no one cell gets used more than another cell does. And then eventually some of the cells start to wear out and they break, and then that drive ends up in our data recovery lab where we're trying to recover data from a flash drive with bad memory cells, basically. So that's what happens if your flash drive ends up in a data recovery lab. But now we may end up with people's Teslas in the data recovery lab. This is going to be a problem. So Tesla has a big time flash storage problem where the memory is failing, because basically Tesla logs everything. And everything in that car, every single thing that car does, even the charging, goes through the main, like the radio, basically, the main circuit board that runs that radio. And its hard drive is built onto the motherboard. It's chip on board, but it's just one of these little flash chips. And so for whatever reason, they have turned on like an insane amount of logging. It logs everything, and it has to save that log data somewhere. And it saves it all to this little flash drive chip. Well, what happens is after a year, 2 years, 3 years, that chip starts to wear out because it's constantly getting data logged to it, data that you very rarely need, but helps Tesla diagnose things when things are going on. when that memory chip wears out, your entire car stops working. You can't charge it. You can't drive it. You can't turn the radio on. You can't roll the windows down. You can't do anything. And then because it's chip on board, that whole circuit board has to be replaced, leading to some pretty expensive repairs. So if you have a Tesla, be aware that that's a possibility. It's called the flash storage failure. This basically, the type of chip they used on the board, they could have used a different chip and not had this problem. They could have used removable storage and not had this problem. Basically, the new non-volatile RAM will eventually solve the problem, but it's not ready for prime time yet. The big fix that's recommended by third parties here, third-party companies can replace the chip on that board, which is a fiddly process. That's a funny word. It's a fiddly process, but it's cheaper than replacing the whole board, which is what Tesla does. Third parties write the syslog data to a RAM disk. They back up the data off the chip that won't wear out, but it is volatile. What that means is the disk is a separate piece of technology that can go bad, basically. And when it does, instead of replacing the whole board, you're just replacing a chip. So it's one of those things where, of course, you can take your Tesla to a third-party place to fix it, but one of the things that lots of farmers are realizing with their tractors, their new tractors they're buying and new combines, and people with Teslas are realizing, is if you take your Tesla to a non-authorized third-party service center to have it fixed, you have basically voided your Tesla warranty, and you really don't want to do that. So if it's under warranty, let Tesla fix it. They're going to replace the whole board, but you're just basically taking the problem, fixing it, and you're putting another time bomb under the hood that's going to go off years later. 402-558-1110, 800-543-1110. Also, Microsoft has a patch out right now. It's the Windows 10 1809 October 15th update, and it breaks your Windows Defender. So most of your consumers are not on 1809. Your current version of Windows 10 is 1903. That's where you should be. This update is more for businesses. So if your business uses Windows 10, you're probably just now installing this October 15th update. And when you get this update, it's going to break Windows Defender, the advanced threat protection. So just a heads up, we do not recommend you ever rely on Windows Defender to keep your computer safe. We recommend you use Semantic Endpoint or any other antivirus. Oh, it just made me cringe. I was at the Mart and I picked up the flyer for Secure IT, and I was like, why are they doing this? Do they own Secure IT? Is that a Buffett company? I need to look into this because, oh my gosh, the number of computers that come into the service center that have problems, viruses, infections, and they're running Secure IT, or worse yet, they were running Secure IT, something infected the computer and damaged Secure IT, and now we can't remove it. I mean, it's just a nightmare piece of software. So I would recommend you don't use it. So if you're going to the Mart today, if you're not interested in the holiday special laptop, if you're not interested in a wickedly faster computer at Schrock for the money you're about to spend at the Mart, because, you know, it's the Mart and you're going to go there. Before you do it, when you get there, the sales guy's going to go through the list of upsells with you. Don't take the Secure IT software. It's bad. It's bad. The antivirus that they offer there. All right, 402-558-1110, 800-543-1110. Speaking of Windows updates, as you all know, we've talked about this ad nauseum, many shows, but there's a brand new version of Windows 10 coming out. It was supposed to come out in October. They have pushed it to November. Apparently, there's nothing wrong. There's no reason that we pushed it back a month beyond the date that it was called and changed its name to the November update. Just for the sake of sanity, we're still calling it the October update at Schrock because we don't. Was that the October or the November update? Well, they're the same update. You know, who's on first? Let's just keep it straight. This is the October update that's been pushed back to November. So it's going to come out in days potentially. And one of the things that we've noticed is the safe upgrade, your safe upgrade software. We are suspiciously heavily stocked on safe upgrade. So basically what's happening is typically the first few weeks before the update comes out, we start talking about, you know, hey, there's an update coming. Get your copy of Safe Upgrade. If you have multiple computers, make sure you get one for each computer. If you have a workplace, it's best to get one for each computer in your workplace. You know, we go through all these things with you. Well, basically, we still have like 760 copies left, which means we've only sold like 240-ish. And the update's coming out in days. So what that means to me is I've had a lot of customers. We've been trying to call them this month because their endpoint's expired. People just aren't home. We've been trying to call them because their warranty is expiring on their modular computer and we can flip it for free. and they're just not returning the call. They're just not home. A lot of people, for whatever reason, are just not home right now. I've had a lot of people email me saying, hey, Thor, I'm going to be traveling when this update comes out. What do I do? And so I just think a lot of people aren't home right now. But what this means is in the next week, we are going to see an epic drain of safe upgrade. We're going to see a lot of copies go out the door. We've limited it to 1,000 copies total, which is a little bit more than last time. This update is supposed to be an easier one because it's not introducing a new feature set. It's just introducing bugs and fixes and patches. But of course, nothing's going to go wrong, right? Microsoft, don't install Windows 10 1809 October 15th update because it breaks your antivirus. 1809 was the version before 1903. And right now, the October update is going to take you to 1909. So if that tells you anything, you've got an update that's been out for almost a year, and you're breaking it with a patch. So when you're telling me that the next version of Windows 10 is just a whole bunch of patches stitched together and it's going to be fine, historically, 80% of the computers that install it, everything is fine. All the newer computers tend to get away with it pretty easily. But it's your computers that people have held on to for a year or longer that tend to have the most problems. And it tends to hit the same people every time. So here's the thing. You can go over to SchrockInnovations.com and you can purchase a copy of Schrock Safe Upgrade. What Schrock Safe Upgrade does is it downloads that free Microsoft update when it's released and installs it safely on your computer. So one, it's going to make sure your hard drive is healthy, that your third-party software is current, and that your antivirus software is working appropriately. And then once it knows all those things are stable, then it's going to go through and install the update the same way that our technicians in the shop would do it. One of the things under the hood that you're not hearing about right now is Microsoft has a super slick new installation system for this update that has never been used before. And you're going to be the first people that get to try it out. Yay. It's only going to download the pieces of the update that Microsoft thinks your computer needs, ignoring the other pieces of the update. Well, why is it at Schrock that we are able to install the update on your computer when the auto update fails every time? What are we doing different? We are downloading the entire massive, epically large, annoyingly big update and installing the whole thing with all of the pieces together. So when it calls for a piece, it's not missing. When you get it automatically from Microsoft, they're not downloading the whole update to you. They're just downloading the pieces that you need, that they think you need. And this update is going to make it way worse. Microsoft is promising it's going to be a pleasure. They're talking about how the install time will be a pleasure because they're not going to install as many pieces, which means you're going to have half of a 1903 system and half of a 1909. You don't want to do that. I would strongly encourage you to take a look at Safe Upgrade. If we call it Safe Upgrade, so if there's some reason why your computer can't install the update, Safe Upgrade will stop and instruct you to call us, where you now have a warranty, where we will help you figure out why that's not working. Now, if you do have to have us bring it into the shop and replace a piece of hardware, for example, or do something to the computer to get it to install, you have to pay the price for doing it in the shop, which is $30 more. Safe Upgrade is a do-it-yourself, at-home way of doing this for $50. You can get Safe Upgrade on our website at SchrockInnovations.com. Like I said, there's a little over 700 copies left there still, but that is going to change pretty quickly, I'm guessing, because we usually end up selling 500 copies or so before the launch, and then after the launch, we usually sell another 300 or 400 easily for people who are like, oh yeah, I should do that, and then they go buy a Safe Upgrade after the fact, or they do it on one computer and then they realize they can't do it on every computer. Or we have some people who think, I bought Safe Upgrade last time, like 6 months ago, so I'll just run that one again. And that doesn't work that way. You have to get Safe Upgrade for the version of Windows for the October update. You have the 1903 version if you bought last time. Now you need the 1909 version. So you've got to get the new version of Safe Upgrade. So if I've described you in any of these comments, you need to head on over to SchrockInnovations.com, grab yourself a copy of Safe Upgrade, one for each computer. 402-558-1110, 800-543-1110. We're going to take a quick break here. Blaine, hang on the line. Your call is coming up next on Compute This.
Update all of your third-party apps on your computer with Secure Updater. It keeps all your apps running smoothly and helps block viruses. Download it for free today at secureupdater.com. External hard drives are handy. You can back up multiple computers to them or even use them to move lots of data from one computer to another. Computer users have been buying the same old external hard drives for years. While our computers have been getting faster, we still do backups that take hours or watch epic progress bars creep by to move files. Schrock wanted more for our customers, so our innovators created the fastest external hard drives on the planet. Schrock modular storage devices are up to 50% faster than Seagate or Western Digital externals and are modular in the truest sense of the word. We can create whatever size and speed of drive you need for all of your needs. And all modular storage devices come with a data restoration guarantee. If you use our drives for backing up and your computer's hard drive fails, we'll restore your backup to your repaired computer for free. Fast, simple, and flexible technology solutions from Schrock Innovations. It's what we do. Compute This Pro Tip 178. Those little life-saving surge protector strips are vital to your computer's health and should be used whenever possible, even for laptops. As computers get smaller and more powerful, they're also becoming more sensitive to dirty power, and your power is a lot dirtier than you might think. Even if you have a whole home surge protection, most power surges are generated within your own home. If you've ever vacuumed and seen the lights get dimmer and brighter, you created a surge. Surge protectors can only absorb so much energy measured in joules. When that capacity is exhausted, your surge protector becomes a glorified extension cord and needs to be replaced. You should always look for surge protectors that give audible alerts when they're no longer able to protect your equipment. Schrock recommends these because the lights on most strips are just power lights and they don't tell you when it's time to replace the unit. If in doubt, replace your surge protectors annually to keep your expensive TVs, computers, and other electronic equipment safe. This pro tip is brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back in. Final segment of Compute This. Let's jump back into those phones. Blaine, welcome to the program. How can I help you today on Compute This?
Hi, I'm currently running 1803.
Okay.
And I've not been able to update it. And I had it in your shop for 3 days, and they were not able to update it.
Gotcha.
So I'm trying to decide if it sounds like I need a new one. Trying to decide if I should get a desktop or a laptop.
Okay.
And I want to know if the desktops that you make will support my current old accessories. Like I've got a HP PhotoSmart C4480 printer.
Okay.
Will it support that?
A C4480.
Mm-hmm.
Let me take a look. HP Windows 10. So I'm just going to Google the C4480 HP Windows 10 and to see if it has Windows 10 support. If it has Windows 10 support, it's not a matter of if our computer supports it. It's a matter of if it's available for Windows 10. Let's see.
I'm running on Windows 10 1803.
Well, yes. Basically, if it works on 1803, it's going to work on the 1909. The printer's not going to stop working. But sometimes people have it. Let me put a caveat. A printer designed to work with Windows 10 won't stop working. But if your printer was a printer designed to work with Windows XP that you've hacked along up and it was working on an early version of Windows 10, as later versions come along, you do obsolete some equipment. But
right.
This particular printer was released in 2014. Full feature, all-in-one printer. Driver installation software is here for Windows 10 64-bit. So yeah, it should work just fine.
Okay, how about an Acer X183H monitor? It's a VGA monitor.
Yes, all VGA monitors are compatible because our desktop computers all come with all 3 monitor port types. We have VGA, DVI, and HDMI, so they're compatible with any monitor you have at home.
Okay, and then a Logitech LX300 cordless desktop, which is a mouse and a keyboard.
Yep, it'll work just fine with that.
Okay, great.
Yep,
Thank
you're
you very
good to
much.
go. Hey, no worries. Thanks for the call, Blaine. I appreciate it. All righty, let's see. A funny comment here on Facebook. Let me see. So Steve posts, so Tesla needs Drive Advisor, huh? And that's pretty hilarious. Like, yeah, the memory's going bad in your Tesla, the hard drive's going bad. Unfortunately, Steve, Drive Advisor wouldn't work in the Tesla because the Tesla runs a Linux operating system and it only runs on Windows. The other thing is the particular type of memory. Drive Advisor doesn't run on tablets. that are equipped with tablet memory, which is what this memory is, like flash memory. There are some hard drives that DriveAdvisor can't detect. For example, DriveAdvisor detects individual hard drives. It does not detect RAID hard drives. And I guess, if you're new to the program and you're like, what is DriveAdvisor? If you do the math, you can go to driveadvisor.com right now, and you can take a look. There's statistics on the page about how many people have installed DriveAdvisor, how many bad drives have been detected. If you do the division and all the fancy math, what you figure out is of everybody who's installed DriveAdvisor, 14% of those people have had a bad hard drive. So right now, if you are sitting in front of a computer or you have a computer in your home and you do not have DriveAdvisor installed on your computer, there's a 14% chance that your hard drive, either your main hard drive or one of your backup drives, is failing right now. And you want to detect that before it happens, right? That's the whole point of DriveAdvisor. The manufacturers of computers, they turn off the smart notification, because if you let it go long enough, then the hard drive goes so bad you lose your information. If you've lost your information, there's no reason to fix the computer. You just go out and buy a new computer, which is exactly what they want you to do. So they keep it's called the Smart Status Notification. It's a self-diagnostic system that every hard drive has. Even solid-state drives have it. And it monitors all the health events of the drive. And if it detects things aren't working right, it warns the computer. But what the manufacturers, all the major manufacturers have done is they have blocked those warnings so you never see them. What DriveAdvisor does is it reaches, the guys in the data recovery lab teamed up with the guys at Schrock Interactive and came up with a program that reaches down into the hard drive and reads that smart notification and then brings it back up to the forefront and lets you see what's going on. So we just pushed out a new update for DriveAdvisor the other day. So you probably saw your DriveAdvisor uninstall and reinstall and everything like that. But the new update is going to make the notifications a little bit more seamless. It's going to give us some additional capabilities that we didn't have before to detect if your hard drive is full. Like the gentleman who called earlier with his full E drive, now we'll be able to let you know, hey, your hard drive is getting full and you need to do something about it. So there's some cool things coming. It also sets some groundwork for battery monitoring later on down the line. But if you don't have DriveAdvisor, here's the thing. It is completely free. There is no ad. There's no ads. There's no, it's not like when you take the poll on Facebook, like, what kind of a hamburger are you? And they're harvesting your personal data and selling it to other companies. We don't sell anything of yours to another company. We don't harvest, your information to sell it to somebody else. There's no revenue model here. DriveAdvisor is a free program that we provide at Schrock because we feel like if we provide the free program that lets you know that your hard drive is bad, if your hard drive is bad, you would probably bring it to Schrock to let us fix it for you. And that's the thing, especially for computers that are new, that are under warranty. If you have a Schrock warranty on your computer, you got to have DriveAdvisor, because if it's bad, we'll fix it under warranty for you. It doesn't get any better than that. So you can download DriveAdvisor for free at driveadvisor.com. DriveAdvisor, E-R, driveadvisor.com. And then you download it, you install it on your computer, and it asks you for your email. We don't spam you a bunch of stuff. We don't sell your email to anybody else. It asks you for the email so it can send you an email when your DriveAdvisor software detects that your computer is having a problem. So there you go, driveadvisor.com. 402-558-1110, 800-543-1110. Gordon, welcome to the show. How can I help you on ComputeThis today?
Yeah, I called in Friday, and the young lady answered, and I told her my DriveAdvisor won't run. It opens up, and it just has a little tiny wheel down there that keeps spinning, and that's all I get. And she said she talked to the technicians, and they said that they couldn't fix it.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I told her she was going to have one of them call me that day, but they haven't called.
Okay. So when you have a situation with DriveAdvisor, DriveAdvisor is a little bit of a weird area for us because it is a free program. We don't charge anything for it. So in the terms and conditions, basically, we're not responsible for it. If it doesn't run on your computer, well, it doesn't run on your computer. With that said, we want it to run on your computer. So there's some basic things that we can do to try to troubleshoot this for you. Okay. Has DriveAdvisor ever run on your computer, Gordon?
It's always run.
Okay, so it's run in the past.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so what we'd like to do here is a lot of times you can uninstall a program and it removes the program from your computer, but what people don't realize is there's always stuff that's left behind so that if you reinstall the program, it remembers where it left off. And DriveAdvisor is no different. Are you in front of your computer right now?
Yes.
Okay, we got some steps for you. Down in the bottom part of your screen, do you see the yellow file folder for the File Explorer?
File.
It looks like.
Yes.
Go ahead and left click on that for me.
Okay.
And this is going to open up the File Explorer window.
Right.
Up at the top, there's a menu: File, Home, Share, and then View. Do you see View?
No, I don't see what you read off.
Okay, on your keyboard.
Oh, I see View. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Go ahead.
I got it.
Left-click View for me.
Yep.
And then there's a whole ribbon that kind of pops up here. On the right-hand side, about 2/3 of the way over, there's some check boxes. And one of the things says Hidden Items. It's the bottom checkbox.
Got it.
Go ahead and put a check in that box.
Okay.
Now it's going to show you all the hidden items on your computer. Now, in the left-hand column, there's a little scroll bar. You can click on this PC. Do you see this PC?
I'm sorry.
You're okay. You're doing great. You're killing it. I'm just running out of time, so I'm trying to get you through it.
So where am I supposed to find this PC?
We're still in the File Explorer window.
Yes.
And so it's on the left-hand side. There's a scroll bar that says at the top, Quick Access. And then it goes,
Okay.
if you scroll down, it'll say this PC.
Okay. I'm sorry.
You're doing great. Go ahead and left-click on this PC.
I did.
Now you'll see your hard drive, your C drive. Double-click on your C drive for me.
Okay.
All right. Now you're going to see a folder here called, let's see. Oh, of course, where's my program data folder? Where is it got? Are my hidden items not visible? I didn't check my hidden items box. You're going to see a folder here called program data. It's down into the P's there. Do you see program data?
I see program files X.
And right below that is program data.
No, I don't have that.
Then you didn't put a check. You did the same thing I did. You got to put a check in that hidden items box.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, if you don't have what version of Windows are you running, Gordon?
The current one.
Windows 10?
Uh-huh.
Okay. If you don't have a program data.
Hold it. The check went away. Now I got it back in there.
All right, go into double-click on program data again.
Yep.
And then find the Drive Advisor folder in here and just delete it. And then restart your computer.
Okay.
All right, give that a whirl. That's what we would do in the shop if you brought it in for us, Gordon. Thank you very much. You did great. You did amazing there. I'm impressed. So good job. Blaine, congratulations. You're the winner of the $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate. We'll get that out to you here. Golly, Addie will get that out on Monday. That'll be pretty quick here. And then stay tuned on Facebook.com/Schrock Innovations for the Aftershock. We got lots to talk about today. And we'll see you all again next weekend for another edition of Compute This.
Fueled by Hy-Vee, home of hot deals and hundreds of price declines. This is News Radio 1110 KFAB, Omaha, an iHeart radio station.
A peace deal with the Taliban is still the best way forward. I'm Pam Puso, Fox News. That from Defense Secretary Mark Esper, who landed in Kabul this morning. While traveling to the region, Esper said he believes the U.S.